A dodecahedron three-dimensional shape, having 12 plane faces. In particular, a regular solid figure with 12 equal pentagonal faces. To help you find the correct angles and be able to display them, I suggest you go to the website Sketchup and download Angular Dimensions. Type Angular Dimensions into the search box. You must log in to be able to download the extension. Angular Dimension V2 has a menu that allows you to change features. I recommend you choose this version. Don't forget, you must log in to be able to download the extension. Now install the Angular extension. Go to the icon for Extension Manager. Click on Install. You need to use Explorer to find your download files. Choose Angular Dimensions to install. You have to restart Sketchup for the extension to be available. Now we can start to draw our first face. Make sure you are in the simple millimeters template, which should be in plan view. Draw a line on the red axis 150 millimeters. Using the protractor tool, go to the end of your line and rotate the protractor to 108 degrees. Do the same at the other end of your first line. Using these guides, draw 2 more lines at 150 millimeters. From the end point of your 2 new lines, use the protractor to make 2 more guides at 108 degrees. Draw 2 more lines at 150 millimeters using the new guides. Click on the lines of your Angular Dimension extension to bring up the menus. Play with the options and see what you prefer to use. Go to Windows Model Info and select Units. At the bottom, change the display precision to minimize the zeros displayed. Select the Angular extension and experiment with how it functions. The first selection should be a point on the line away from the angles intersect. The second selection should be the intersection of the 2 lines. And the final selection should be a point on the other line away from the intersection. This is method 1 using guidelines. Method 2 is much simpler, but requires you knowing the radius from the center of the pentagonal shape to the furthest extent of the pentagonal. Draw lines from each peak to its opposite base. When you have drawn 3 lines, you can now measure the radius from the center point to a peak. Select the Circle tool and draw a circle to the dimension you found for the radius. Select the edge of the circle and go to Entity Info. The default for a circle is 24 segments. You need to change this to 5. You now have a 5-sided circle. To be able to make measurements, you must explode curve. To do this, right-click on the edge, a drop-down menu appears. Look for Explode Curve, click on this and you can now check all the sides lengths. Whatever method you use, you should end up with the same result. As we made our first face in the plan view, we will use this first face as our base of our dodecahedron. Move your base shape to the red, green, and blue axis. And rotate it onto the red axis. Whatever method you use, you should end up with the same result. As we made our first face in the plan view, we will use this first face as our base of our dodecahedron. Use the ISO view for the next stage. We are going to make a copy of our base using the rotate tool on the red axis. Use the ISO view for the next stage. We are now at the stage with our base face constructed. We will copy this face 5 times and raise it up to an angle of 116.6 degrees. To form the sides of our dodecahedron, using the rotate tool in the red axis orientation, locate the center point of the base face. Move to the top of our face and select this point. Rotate the face up. You must press the Ctrl key to make a copy, which will leave our base face in its original position. To be able to see the accuracy of the angles that you will be using, we will need to go to Model Info and select Units. Go to the bottom item Angle Units and check it is set to 0.0. The angle 63.4 degrees shows clearly that by moving our copied face by 116.6 degrees plus 63.4 totals 180 degrees. Let's now move our copied face from the bottom left corner to the bottom right corner, and pressing Ctrl at the same time to make a copy. Before you make any other action with your mouse, tap the star key on your keypad and then type 4. This will make a total of 5 faces, all touching each other from their lower corners. Select all 4 copies. Use the rotate tool on the blue axis. Choose the left base point on the first copy. And then finally select the end face. Rotate all 4 faces by 72 degrees. Rotate your view so you can see the sides you have just rotate. Select the 3 faces not touching the base. Using the blue axis rotate tool, repeat the same rotation of 72 degrees. Repeat this rotation until all faces are aligned to the base. We have completed 1/2 of our dodecahedron. Make our model a group. We are now going to raise our model above on the blue axis, where we will use the Ctrl key to copy our model. Raise the group high enough, i.e. 2 times the height. Then using the scale tool we will invert the group. To make sure the 2 groups are the same size, remember to scale to -1.00. Proceed to find the center of the top face as we did earlier. Draw 3 lines from peak to base. Then use the rotate key on the blue axis and rotate 180 degrees. Use the Move tool on the blue axis to join both halves. Clean up your model. Use your angular dimension with X-ray on and check all your angles, inside and out. If everything is correct, give yourself a pat on the back.